just, I don't know where to go with this. I don't know what to tell you guys. At least black men are finally waking up. At least the black community, the minority community, is realizing that the Democratic Party has only lied about caring about any of their interests forever. And despite the fact that they've elected black mayor, black governor, black mayor, black governor, black senator, black representative over and over again, Democratic, 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 over and over again, finally has realized, this community has realized that, oh my God, the people that we have been electing to represent us in office have not been representing us whatsoever. In fact, they've been selling us out, and they want to perpetuate our problems because our problems are their platform. They're not creative enough to solve a problem and then pivot to a new platform. They want to just maintain this platform that's always been working for them. They're trying to keep disco alive, folks. They're trying to keep depravity alive. Let's watch clip number 29 here. Watch. Black men slam Obama for talking down to them, telling them to vote Kamala. Let's watch.
There's someone.
Is that we have not yet seen the same kinds of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running. Now, I also want to say that seems to be more pronounced with the brothers.
Good.
So if you don't mind, just for a second, I'm going to speak to y'all.
Y'all.
And say that when you have a choice that is this clear, when on one hand you have somebody who grew up like you, knows you, went to college with you, understands the struggles and
look at that packed Barack Obama rally.
And joy that comes.
That would be why. God damn it.
You said to work harder and do more.
There we go.
And overcome and achieves the second highest office in the land. Hello, America, and hello, Georgia. I'm Bernie Jones,
What's up, Michael?
Representative from the great state of Georgia, and I'm out doing my normal morning jog. By the way, it's a great day to be in Georgia. It's a beautiful fall day. But anyhow, I just had to pause for the cause.
Haven't seen you in a while.
Observed and listened and watched Barack Obama last night as he addressed black men. But as a black man, he did everything but address us. What he did, he berated black men, he rebuked black men, he even scolded black men, primarily because we will not fall in line and vote for Adam Lockupper brother, Kamala Harris.
Adam Lockupper brother.
As if black men are too stupid that we can't vote our self-interest, what's best for us, our pocketbook, our families. As if we've been immune to the past 3.5 years, as if we don't know that gas prices have been higher under Kamala Harris, food prices higher under Kamala Harris, interest rates on home mortgages higher under Kamala Harris, and runaway voters under Kamala Harris. But you know what? That's what the liberal white Democratic Party did. They meant a lot to black people. You don't even live in Chicago anymore. You left your black community, Barack Obama. And you want to
Yeah, that was big years.
We're not having that. And we're not.
Attacks that have been aimed at black men. Now watch this. Not from white folk, but from other black men. We got Magic Johnson, a black man, saying that black men should vote for Harris because that's the only acceptable choice. This is a man who has a black son who thinks he's a woman. Then we have the 44th president of the United States coming out and saying that black men voting for Trump is unacceptable. He has the nerve to look in the eyes of black men who are out here working their off, grinding, taking care of their families, mature, responsible men,
Same guy.
handling their business. This man that is worth, some estimates say, $75 million, has then the audacity to tell these same black men that it is unacceptable for you to vote any other way than what I tell you. I'm just starting to think now, like seriously, like this is all a game. Like this can't be serious, y'all. We're like in some twilight zone where we're just not, like, this ain't even real.
How about my Lions, huh?
It's to the point to where it's become redundant and just useless to talk about. It's amazing how dumb, just how
dumbass
that they think that we are. And the sad part is that many are just like that.
don't know even how to drive a circle.
It's really frustrating. Now, if a white man came out and told a black man that it's unacceptable for him to vote a certain way, black folks would be all up in arms. All up in arms. You can't tell me that. I'm a grown. But then we allow another black man to come out and tell another black man, a grown black man on top of that he can't do what he so desires. And this is just...
Who is this?
Like, listen, let me just say it like this. If there was a black man that was on the Republican side that was running for president, black folks still wouldn't vote for him. Black folks in a recent poll said that they wouldn't even vote for
Yeah, they did okay.
Condi. They wouldn't even vote for her. They would vote for Harris over Condi. Can you believe that? Black folks said they voted for Harris over Condi. What? Like, it's just becoming ridiculous, y'all. It's just becoming ridiculous.
What are we stopping for now?
It's just becoming ridiculous. It's just ridiculous.
About to vote?
Yeah.
Who you vote for?
Trump.
Come on, bro. Harris does backwards, bro.
What?
Harris.
Man, we not voting for that, man. You voting for Trump, man.
And who you voting for? Trump or Kamala?
Man, Trump, we ain't that Indian ass, man.
Who, Kamala?
What the fuck's going on here?
Why you don't?
Cause she's...
It's like everybody's turning around, though.
So why you riding Trump so much?
Them Venezuelans taking all our bread.
Hey, Trump or Kamala?
Shit, Trump, to be honest.
Looks like the road is,
He used to keep immigrants
blocked.
out, so, you know, it was able for us to get jobs. It's hard for us to get jobs now, shit, because immigrants taking over. And they do it better than us, though, but they taking our...
They do it better.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm not... Venezuelans,
Somebody's shoe.
What would make you want to vote for Kamala?
I ain't gonna lie, we was the last two people on Earth. Still wouldn't do that shit.
We were the last two people on Earth.
Yeah.
She ain't gonna
Yeah, if they'd have, I think it had a lot to do with their seating, too.
I'm telling you, man, these people are wise.
So you wouldn't vote for a black woman? It's gonna be the first black woman in office.
Tell you something, man. Ain't no man is gonna listen to no woman.
That bullshit call against Dallas last year fucked up their playoff seeding. They still made it to the championship.
He's right.
Well, there's a fucking, there's some kind of accident over there. There's a fire truck heading to a town. Let's go. There, you know where he's going? Jesus.
It's so good.
You and come on, you voted for you, so you went there all on Venezuela.
252 is requested a crew at 1041 San Marino or runaways to be fully off. Looks like mom's out on scene. She's at work. Her phone number's
Alex
in the
Jones this
text.
week used the term
1041
conniption
San
fit.
Marino.
I saw it on his Twitter. I didn't even know what a conniption fit was. I had to look it up on ChatGPT.
Copy.
I'm about ready to have a conniption fit.
Call 219
Because that was the funniest video that I've ever seen in my entire life. And they're all absolutely right. The Democrats look down on them as this poor underbelly of civilization, as this meager part of our society with low IQ that we can just exploit forever, and they'll always vote for us because they're just so dumb. They don't catch on if I use some of their vernacular when I speak to them at a rally in Georgia, or if I suddenly sound Hispanic when I speak to a rally of Hispanic
170 property damage accident, West Dussel and 4th Street is Silver Chevy, Colorado versus the box truck. They're not blocking. It's West Dussel and 4th Street.
Harris says the Hillary Clintons who just say, you know, I ain't no candy on this, just standing by and as my husband does whatever he wants.
Were you Baker on that top? We still hit you out.
They believe
I'm sorry, I didn't catch
just everyone, or they believe that just because people are poor and desperate or live in bad
We still hit you on that.
gullible and
From
susceptible
Extended
and
Stay.
vulnerable,
Were you Baker on that?
being fooled by utter evil depravity. It's not true. They understand that their lives are at stake, that freedom itself is at stake, and they understand now finally that the Democratic Party, neither the Republican Party as a party, give a damn about them. So they're voting for the only outsider, the only populist, Donald Trump.
You can show me on scene. We'll probably need additional units for road patrol.
Okay. Okay, 14. Start that way. 14. Clear, in a row. And 813. Dispatch, I'm in route 2. Okay, thanks, sir. 813 clear. And 813.
We're going to run clip number 15 here.
Running out support Trump, especially women who have kids, families, and what's going on in Aurora. I'm a native of Colorado. It's happening, it's real, it's here. And our governor says it's not real, it's real. It's not in our imagination, it's happening.
What is it that you're saying that's real?
The gangs, all that kind of stuff, it's everywhere. It's in Aurora, it's throughout the suburbs. They're spreading it.
And that's a scary part.
Insane.
Jesus Christ.
14.
Let's drop the lid to my cologne.
Operation Aurora at the federal level.
Damn it.
To expedite the removals of these savage gangs, and I will invoke
25 to
the
14 on me.
Alien Enemies Act of 1798. Think of that. 1798. This was put there. 1798. That's a long time ago, right? To target and dismantle every migrant criminal network operating on
14.
American soil.
Go
Who would have
ahead.
ever thought that a president or future president would ever have to
25 is trying to raise you.
stand here and say such things? Who would think that
Hey,
this
for
even
real,
possible to have to
regulations.
do? So many things are changed in the last 4 years, but that's the state of our country now after Kamala and Joe Biden have just absolutely destroyed our country. We're a country in tremendous
25 to
distress.
14, you can hear me at that dispatch relay. Shut down traffic.
We will send elite
Just
squads
east
of
of Norwood. We're going to be right at the intersection. See if we can get it cleared that way.
And deport every last illegal alien gang member until there is not a single one left in this country. And if they come back into our country, they will be told it is an automatic 10-year sentence in jail with no possibility of parole. And I'm hereby calling for the death penalty for any migrant that kills an American citizen or a law enforcement officer.
Strong, strong, strong. Do you hear yourself? This is clip number 1 we're going to run next. The Vance humiliates
93 gallon
ABC's
plate.
Raditz. And I think that's appropriate that her name is Raditz because that was the very first villain in the Dragon Ball Z series, if you remember correctly. For claiming migrant gangs captured only a handful of apartment complexes, as if it's okay that migrant gangs have captured any apartment complexes in the United States of America. Oh, it was just a handful of people that were just forced out of their apartments. It's just a handful of apartment complexes that have been conquered by Venezuelan gangs as a result of this border policy. You're making it sound like it's such a big deal, but it's only a handful of apartment complexes that have been conquered by foreign enemies.
14 is post, 64 shut down.
The incidents were limited to a handful of apartment complexes in the mayor's dedicated police
There's that
officers.
brown suit again.
That's concerned. A handful of problems.
Only, Martha, do you hear yourself? Only a handful of apartment complexes in America were taken over by Venezuelan gangs, and Donald Trump is the everything else here, we've got to get American communities in a safe space again. And unfortunately, when you let people in by the millions, most of whom are unvetted, most of whom you don't know who they really are, you're going to have problems like this.
Located, we're going to be on
94 executive orders that undid Donald Trump's successful border policies. We knew this stuff would happen. They bragged about opening the border, and now we have the consequences, and we're living with it. We can do so much better.
Unbelievable, folks. We know that freedom is under attack. We know America's under attack. We know humanity's under attack. We know Alex is under attack. We know the crew is under attack by these evil globalist leftists. And the best way to support us, folks, keep us on the air, is by going to thealexjonesstore.com, or if you just want to make a donation, go to realalexjones.com.
Yeah, 188 Jackson Centerfield Drive and Eastfield Drive. The silver Toyota minivan versus the red Chevy Trax. They pulled over on Centerfield.
Until the 25th of October, until the day before Hillary Clinton's birthday, October 26th. We want to make sure that we have a massive sale of these capsules and the gummies when they come back at thealexjonesstore.com, because this is the way to fund the operation no matter what happens to InfoWars over the course of the next several weeks. We've got this major, amazing, pivotal time with this election coming up on the 5th of November. Then, just a week later after this election, which is likely to be contested, unlikely to be certified by the Democrats no matter what happens, we've got the potential death blow of InfoWars itself coming up as Alex Jones battles for the right to his own identity and name itself this week in court. Please go to thealexjonesstore.com right now. Get the ultimate CMOS capsules, which are available until the gummies come back in stock on the 25th, or get Optimal Human, which is for sale as well at thealexjonesstore.com. Optimal Human is an amazing powder with all the nutrition the body needs: gut health and digestion, supports brain health, body balancing, adaptogens, nutrient-rich superfood foods. I mean, it's amazing what it's got in here.
Yeah, mobile order LN25 for Norm.
Vitamin B12, biotin, calcium, iron. It is all just loaded here in this Optimal Human formula. Please get it now at thealexjonesstore.com, and the ultimate CMOS capsules, which are available.
Mobile order LN25.
For Norm.
Yes.
Go ahead and go forward.
Thank you. The dude with the trailer in front of me.
Fundraiser t-shirt, which is the navy blue with the red InfoWars logo and Real Alex Jones on the sleeve. Please go to thealexjonesstore.com right now. Don't just get the amazing products, the amazing supplements, but keep Alex Jones on air and support the crew as well in this fight for humanity itself. More news on the other side.
People that research supplements and that are into health know that Irish CMOS and its benefits are documented and incredible. Well, our sponsor, AlexJonesStore.com, happened to be able to get one of the top suppliers with the highest rated Irish CMOS to give them the authorization for private label. So now it's Alex Jones Ultimate CMOS, exclusively available at the
Ultimate CMOS.
It is the ultimate superfood. The iodine, the trace minerals, the elements, the vitamins that are in this are incredible. They give you instant energy, instant focus, but as you take it for a few weeks, you feel the stamina, the libido, the mental clarity. It is a superfood.
Libido
it is concentrated
from
So
CMOS?
get Alex Jones Ultimate CMOS exclusively discounted at the AlexJonesStore.com. And listen to this. One bottle is
813 to 93 on Main. This semi obviously can't turn around, so he's going to sit here pulled over, but I'm still going to go down to Saugers to turn normal traffic around.
Copy that.
The Save Alex Jones Broadcast Limited Edition Fundraiser t-shirt is available at thealexjonesstore.com. This exclusive limited edition t-shirt is your chance to stand with Alex Jones and support the ongoing fight for free speech. Featuring the bold red InfoWars logo prominently displayed on the front, this shirt is more than just a piece of apparel. It's a statement of solidarity. Crafted from high-quality materials, the shirt also features the Infowars.com website and an American flag on the sleeve, symbolizing the fight to keep independent voices on the air. Every purchase of this t-shirt goes directly to ensuring that no matter what obstacles arise, Alex Jones will continue to broadcast the truth. Wearing this shirt means you're part of the mission to protect free speech and keep Alex Jones broadcasting. Get yours now before this limited edition sells out. And wear
Oh yeah, by the way, Lions.
of the truth. Visit thealexjonesstore.com right now and get the Save Alex Jones Broadcast limited edition fundraiser t-shirt now.
recent video going
Hi.
viral
Thanks.
shows Israel's finance minister saying that the Jewish state must extend into Jordan, Lebanon, Egypt, Syria, Iraq, and Saudi Arabia. But he's been saying this for over a year.
Look, the Jordanians, for starters, did not like the statement, but even less the setting of the stage, with Smotrich giving the statement it gave the address with on the podium was a map of Greater Israel that includes parts of modern-day Jordan, and that's what got Amman to blast the statement. They said that Smotrich's actions constituted an act of reckless incitement as well as a violation of international norms and the peace agreement between Israel and Jordan. The deputy speaker of Jordanian parliament took it a step further, calling on the Jordanian military to
215, 219 unwanted at Kroger, 3301 of our Avenue. Val Caller, the manager there, this is white male, dark hair, last he wearing brown with black pants, currently sitting in the area by Starbucks. The city made previous threats to employees on Saturday, 3301 of our Avenue.
Clear, agree.
But what I'm saying is, I believe eventually our borders will extend from Lebanon to the Great Desert, which is Saudi Arabia, and then from the Mediterranean to the Euphrates. And who's on the other side of the Euphrates? The Kurds. And the Kurds are our friends. So the Mediterranean behind us, the Kurds in front of us, Lebanon, which really needs the umbrella of protection of Israel. And then we're going to take, I believe we're going to take Mecca, Medina, and Mount Sinai and purify those places.
You know, it's going to happen.
Ukrainian President Zelensky has said that he wants his country to become a big Israel. And while young Ukrainians are sacrificed for the U.S. State Department war with Russia, Jewish settlers from Israel are setting up homes in their place. We are told that Israel is defending themselves from Hamas, but a leaked telegram from Israel states that Hamas served as a useful countergroup against the PLO. In 2019, Benjamin Netanyahu said, anyone who wants to thwart the establishment of a Palestinian state has to support bolstering Hamas and transferring money to Hamas. The CIA, MI6, Mossad, and their intelligence counterparts have a long history of fostering terrorist groups and using them as the boogeyman to sell non-stop illegal wars in the Middle East. And do not forget that after 9/11, the United States Department of Defense planned on invading 7 countries.
I went downstairs and just said hello to some of the people on the Joint Staff who used to work for me. And one of the generals called me and he said, "Sir, you gotta come in and talk to me a second." I said, "Well, you're too busy." He said, No. He says, we made the decision we're going to war with Iraq. This was on or about the 20th of September. I said, "We're going to war with Iraq. Why?" He said, "I don't know." So I came back to see him a few weeks later, and by that time we were bombing in Afghanistan. I said, "Are we still going to war with Iraq?" And he said, "Oh, it's worse than that." He said, "I just got this down from upstairs in the Secretary of Defense office today." And he said, "This is a memo that describes how we're going to take out 7 countries in 5 years, starting with Iraq and then Syria, Lebanon, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and finishing off Iran."
Israel and the United States continue to bomb Lebanon, murdering countless civilians, shooting young children in the head, and pushing closer to a war with Iran. A war that will inevitably pull Russia into the conflict. Why this is all happening is not entirely clear, but the late naval intelligence whistleblower, William Cooper, believed that he knew the answer.
Israel was created as the instrument to bring about the Battle of Armageddon and the fulfillment of prophecy. A war that would be so terrible where nuclear weapons were used. So that the American citizens and the other people in the world would get down on their knees and beg for no more war. What is the answer to that? They're going to be told the only way we can guarantee no more war is if we destroy the sovereignty of nations.
Reporting for InfoWars, this is Greg Reese. First of all, we want to avoid
guy gonna do?
Real food is sure of its nutrient potential. And this is why it's important to take a vitamin mineral supplement every day. According to studies, regular multivitamin mineral supplement use reduces the risk of cancer and cardiovascular disease. Perhaps supplements aren't important to you, but in today's upside-down world, a daily vitamin mineral supplement is a must.
Ah, there's got to be something different.
We have one of the best. Support your health and support the...
Commercials.
The issue of abortion is part of the noise as well, because abortion has not been banned in the United States. States get to make their decisions in the same way that states decide whether or not they're going to be sanctuary states, sanctuary cities, what have you. Now, it takes me to this very important point, which is something that's not surprising, but is something that is foundational, and it's the idea of the National Border Patrol Council strongly endorsing Donald Trump at an Arizona rally. Now, I think Kamala Harris, who's from a neighboring state called California, is really nervous about the border issue. So much so, she typically will only visit the border in the dark of night or all by herself, and then she will walk out. But the National Border Patrol Council issued a strong and emphatic endorsement of former President Donald Trump during an Arizona rally on Sunday, writes Breitbart. Speaking at the podium, Border Patrol Union President Paul Perez knocked Vice President Kamala Harris for her work as the border czar, while praising the former president for having always stood with the men and women who protect the border. And that thing is absolutely rock solid and clear. You can understand this without any sort of a problem because of the issue that we've talked about all these years, going all the way back to the escalator there in 2015. The border is a mess, and the border was made a mess on purpose by Vice President Harris, and I can't quite remember who the person was that was the president, because he's not the president anymore, apparently. If we allow border czar Harris to win the election, every city, every community, every great country is going to go to hell. The untold millions of people, unvetted, who she has allowed into the country and are committing murders, rapes, robberies, burglaries, and every other kind of crime, well, they're going to continue to put the country in peril. Nobody walks around and says, in any country, anywhere in the world, gosh, you know what we need? We need an importation of more crime. We need more crime coming into our communities, coming into our country, coming into the states within the country. Yeah, even Venezuela understands the picture, because they are suffering under a 70% decrease of criminality. Where did all those folks go? I don't know. Perhaps you have a theory. Perhaps you have an idea. But this is a foundational issue, because if you cannot control your borders, you don't have a country. I mean, it's really that easy to understand. If you don't control who comes in, who goes out, you don't really have a country. If you don't control who comes in and goes out of your house, you don't really have a house. You have a transition point or something like that. So not a surprise that Donald Trump has picked up the endorsement from the National Border Patrol Council. He is somebody who has been very, very loyal to the men and women there of law enforcement there at the border, and he understands full well what it is that is at stake in this election. By the way, in about 10 minutes, we'll be joined by Senator Ron Johnson of Wisconsin, and we're going to be talking about this and all the other issues that are out there outstanding. But let me give you a great example of the media not being connected to any sort of reality. Yesterday, J.D. Vance went out and spent some time with This Week, right? This week. I always want to say This Week with David Brinkley, but then I'm aging myself. This is cut number 6, And J.D. Vance has to school Martha Raddatz on, well, all of this stuff. Cuts it.
The incidents were limited to a handful of apartment complexes, and the mayor said our dedicated police officers have acted on those concerns. A handful of problems.
Only, Martha, do you hear yourself? Only a handful of apartment complexes in America were taken over by Venezuelan gangs, and Donald Trump is the problem and not Kamala Harris's open border? Americans are so fed up with what's going on, and they have every right to be. And I really find this exchange, Martha, sort of interesting because you seem to be more focused with nitpicking everything that Donald Trump has said rather than acknowledging that apartment complexes in the United States of America are being taken over by violent gangs. I worry so much more about that problem than anything else here. We've got to get American communities in a safe space again. And unfortunately, when you let people in by the millions, most of whom are unvetted, most of whom you don't know who they really are, you're going to have problems like this. Kamala Harris, 94 executive orders that undid Donald Trump's successful border policies. We knew this stuff would happen. They bragged about opening the border, and now we have the consequences, and we're living with it. We can do so much better, but frankly, we're not going to do better, Martha, unless Donald Trump calls this stuff out. I'm glad that he did.
You know what's interesting? We can always get to the truth of the matter by testing it in a different way. All right, so you had just a few groups of people taking over a few apartment complexes. These are not apartments, these are apartment complexes. So they might have picked up 300 units here, 15 units there, another 125 units over there. But like, let's test this out with using Democrat standard sort of comments. Okay, so let's do this. Listen, I understand that you're very concerned about murders, but there were only, a few murders that took place in your neighborhood, on your street, in front of your house over the last weekend. Nothing to be worried about. The murder rate is always going to be there. And they took care of it. They took care of it. In the invasion of Ukraine, right, by the Ruskies, they only took a small number of towns, and there you go. And there's really nothing to be said about that. That's there's only a few states that have banned abortion. There's only one governor who decided to mock Catholics because of the Eucharist. It's just one of those, right? Just one of those. This is the clown show that the media is. The clown show of the media is abundant and readily apparent. They don't understand. See, Martha Raddatz lives in Washington, D.C. She actually doesn't live in America. And most of these people, I'm going to play you clips. I got Kristen Welker. Boy, she about lost her mind when the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, not Ron Johnson, Mike Johnson, called her out. And she about lost her mind. The people that work and live in Washington, D.C. do not live in the United States of America. How do I know that? How do I know that? Because almost every policy that emanates from the leftists in Washington, D.C., and let's be honest, they're overwhelmingly more Democrats than there are Republicans in Washington, D.C. Those are policies that are anathema to the rest of the country. The average person does not have any kind of connectivity with these kooks, with these wackos there on television. And so that's why they have to be called out on a consistent basis. In fact, do you know what became the number one talking point over the last weekend? By the way, I'm Brett Whitable in for David Webb, 866-95-PATRIOT, 866-957-2874. We are taking your phone calls. Over the weekend, the big topic that re-emerged was Donald Trump is a fascist. Donald Trump is a fascist. He embraces fascism. He's all about the fascism. It's a meaningless argument to the average person who is now sleeping outside in North Carolina because Roy Cooper, the governor, Josh Stein, the attorney general, and Joe Biden featuring on saxophone, Vice President Harris, doing nothing for the people of North Carolina, doing very little for the people down in Florida. This is the problem. This is the crisis that we're dealing with right here. And so when you're living out of doors in Western North Carolina, or you have been hit a second time by Helene and then, of course, Milton, when you are suffering in all of those sorts of ways, and the notion of bringing in illegal immigrants to come into your country at a unchecked clip, that's your priority, Madam Vice President? Are you out of your mind? Have you absolutely lost it when you sit back and say the border is secure and immigration's not an issue? And by the way, all of our surrogates have been telling you that there has to be an complete anathema to anybody who understands the security picture in a post 9/11 world, in a post October 7th world. These folks understand 100% that this is not what needs to be happening in this country. And it's an absolute abominable. It's an absolute abominable situation here. And they will tell you, and they will brag to you, oh yeah, no, we absolutely we have the most secure borders of all time. Well, that's news to the Border Patrol Council, because they're working it every single day. And look, this problem goes way, way back. Having grown up in El Paso, Texas in the 1970s, I can tell you the border goes through a lot of iterations. But let me tell you something. The border is not secured by any stretch of the imagination, because we are dealing with an incredible crisis here in this country. And nobody on the left wants to acknowledge that. Nobody on the left wants to sit back and say, okay, we're going to take this seriously. We're going to fix this. It's going to be repaired. All of that stuff. All of that stuff is, you know, the thing is, it's just murky. It's murky in their mind because they have priorities. They have priorities, and the priorities are not protecting your kids, not protecting your kids from fentanyl, not protecting your kids from sex trafficking, from actual trafficking, from any of this sort of stuff. Not protecting kids. You know, there was a story over the weekend that I came across that said that they are now recruiting middle schoolers in the state of Texas to join Tren Aragua. What are we doing? Do we need the next great iteration of MS-13, the cartels, etc.? And one of the interesting things that I saw from a wacko leftist over the weekend was this. They came out and they said,
yeah, well, I'm working too.
No uncertainty. It's all right, because most of these crimes are retail theft. Okay, so does that mitigate it? You know, one man's retail theft is another man's, you know, attempted murder. This is crazy. And, you know, one of the things that I'm thinking about here is somebody who has been during the convention. Let's head on over and check in with Senator Ron Johnson from Wisconsin. Welcome to the program, sir.
Morning, Brett. I hope you're doing well.
I'm doing great. Your thoughts from what we're seeing across this country, in this country, with the last, 30 days or so coming up with the election. How are you seeing this, especially on the immigration issue?
Well, first of all, I heard your last comment there that somebody's saying this is just retail theft. No, it is far, far worse. They are rapes and murders. And if you know anything about gangs in Central America, they completely intimidate and extort.
Go Lions!
If you're a cab driver, you can pay the extortion.
All right, guys, I'll probably do a desktop stream. We'll see how nuts it is.
If you're a police officer, then it will send you a
already delayed because of an accident.
video of your wife and children going to church.
I'll see you in a bit.
These are
Thanks for riding with me. Love you.
And I could not believe Martha